Hey, beautiful souls, earthly beings, goddess, Phoenix Sky here. Highly divine, badass goddess, Phoenix Sky here. So, um, just wanted to switch some stuff up a little bit where my videos were concerned. I know I do the goddess power readings and goddess Isis readings, but I felt compelled to share just different things that I'm experiencing as I embody, exude, and embrace my badass inner goddess power and energy within me. And that is speaking some truth. Well, all of the truth and nothing but the truth. So this weekend, I took it upon myself after having conversations with my girlfriend that I love so much. I love my baby. About my mother wounds and really diving deep into healing my mother wound. So what is a mother wound? A mother wound is when you've had a really tumultuous, traumatic experience with your mother, but you still love her so much and you want her approval and her acceptance and her validation, but you can't get it because she doesn't have it to give it to you. And I experienced that with my own mother, and I have to be strong enough to share this because it's part of my truth and it's part of who I am as a person, and I cannot think about how she's going to think or feel about it because, quite frankly, this is my story. It's my experience. And if I'm supposed to help other people, other women, other goddesses, I have to share, right? So this weekend, I was reading a book called Mother Hunger, and it talks about the mother wounds and how oftentimes mothers who have been neglected themselves, who've been abused themselves, who had traumatizing experiences themselves in childhood or adulthood, in turn around and they do it to their daughters or their children. Because, sons go through mother wounds as well. And so this weekend, I did a lot of crying, a lot of soul searching, a lot of writing about different things that I experienced as a child with my mother, and questioned why was all this happening to me when all I wanted to do was have love from her. I didn't ask her to bring me into this world. She decided that on her own. And so now I'm here, a beautiful human being with a heart of gold, so loving, so compassionate, where I could just be a fucked up human being, but I'm not, to have a mom who is not capable of loving me the way I feel like I deserve to be loved, who taught me not to ask for my needs and my wants, who taught me to sacrifice myself because I'm the oldest, who taught me not to put myself first. And over the course of the years, I had to learn to put myself first. I had to learn to ask for what I need. And I'm still doing it till this day. And so I'm talking about this because this is all part of embracing your badass inner goddess energy and power. And you have to do things and confront things that are so fucking uncomfortable at times as a goddess for you to get to where you want to get to. You have to go through the dark to get to the light. You just have to. You have to honor your needs and your wants. You have to speak your truth. You have to talk about what the fuck hurts you. Who hurt you? You have to talk about how severe the pain is that you're experiencing at this moment in time, or whatever moment it is. If things pop up as they do when you're on your healing process to being this badass goddess that you are, and exuding it and embodying all that you have to embody within yourself and walking in your duality, part of that is doing the work. And the work is exceptionally hard and painful because it comes with a lot. It does come with a lot, and it is something that has to be done. It just has to be done. You have to be willing to be uncomfortable. You have to be willing to tell yourself the truth. You have to be willing to tell other people the truth. I had a conversation with my mom last month after my birthday, and I had to be really raw and real and very candid and transparent and honest with her about the abuse I experienced in my life when I was a child. And I didn't feel that no one came to save me at all. I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel like anyone cared. I felt invisible. And that's the hardest thing when you're a child and you have parents there and no one is noticing what the fuck you're going through in no way, shape, or form. And also, too, knowing and realizing that she had her own trauma that she experienced, her own types of abuse that she experienced. So she didn't have the capability or the tools to help me because she didn't go through her healing process. She didn't go through her journey. But that doesn't excuse the experience I went through with being her daughter and being the oldest at that. So part of me embracing, embodying, and exuding my highly divine, badass energy goddess energy is confronting parts of myself that I'm still working on a daily basis. My worth, my value, how I see myself, how I talk to myself, and that's consistent work. And it starts in the mindset, right? So growing up, if you're someone who's been through experiences with your parents, your mom, that were not the very best emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, psychologically, financially, whatever the case may be, those things take a toll on your life. And when you're an adult, when you become an adult, you don't even realize that it's embedded in you. It's already in you from birth. I've always shared that when I was abused at 7 years old, my soul left my body and I was watching myself being abused. And so I developed dissociation, zoning out, daydreaming, soul fragmentation, whatever you want to call it. I developed that instantaneously because of the shit that happened to me. And there's times in my life I still zone out. My girlfriend had to bring it to my attention that I zoned out. And I didn't even realize I was zoning out. Sometimes I know and sometimes I don't. So those are things, as me being a goddess, that I have to embody and embrace and accept and exude about myself. And sometimes it's a hard thing, because if you're on autopilot and you're just doing whatever it is, functioning during the course of the day, you lose track of time. You're on autopilot. You zone out. You have no fucking idea that it's happening to you. It's like an ordinary day if someone doesn't bring it to your attention. So all of these things that we may be experiencing in life as an adult, going through these same cyclical relationships over and over and over, meeting the same people, different bodies, but the same patterns and cycles, has something to do with how we were raised or what we experienced as children, especially women. If you watched your mom sacrifice herself, if you watched her mom not ask for what she needed, she wanted. If you watched your mom be abused, if you watched your mom have so much resentment in her heart space, if you watched your mom never speak or never say anything, never defend herself, never ask for help, 9 times out of 10, you develop that shit. If you are able to wake up and ask for help and get the help you need, the healing that you need, kudos to you. But there's so many people out in the world that are not even conscious and aware that they have these patterns and these behaviors and these cyclical things that they're experiencing in their lives, and they're living on autopilot. They are zoning out. They're disassociating. They're having all these types of disorders, all because of what you experienced as a child with your parents or your guardians, your godparents, your grandparents, whatever the case may be, who did not treat you the very best. You didn't ask to be here. It's not your fault. I didn't ask to be here. My mom made that decision. And so for me to be a child, my sole responsibility was to be loved and protected and treated with compassion and grace and dignity and mercy by my parents, by my mom. And I didn't get that. And so that stays with me. And so if anyone is listening to this, watching this, and it resonates with you, you're not by yourself. The one thing that I can tell you, get a journal, get something from the dollar store, and write your feelings, write your emotions. If you're not speaking to your mom, that's okay. If your mom chooses not to speak to you, that's okay too. Do not take on her struggles and her burdens. Don't allow her to manipulate you in no way, shape, or form, because that's another thing too. Manipulation is real. It really is. So find a way to channel that hurt and pain by writing everything out that you're feeling. There's amazing mother wound healing videos on YouTube that are meditation videos, sleep meditation videos, anything that can help you. But honor your feelings and give your little girl inside the opportunity to honor her feelings. And that in itself will help you to operate in your goddess energy. A goddess energy is not only about being powerful and strong and beautiful and sexy and all those things. Yes, that's part of it, but it's also healing yourself. Taking back your power, which you've given to other people, and holding yourself accountable and responsible for all the parts that you play in your life and also the lives of other people, and asking for what you need and you want. And that's what I chose to do this weekend, and I thought that I would just share. So I affirm this helps. High Divine Badass Goddess Phoenix Sky.